Anyways, toy drama.
Toy drama.
I know you'll like this video. I don't know if chat will.
It's been quite the week for the action figure collecting community. Hasbro's Marvel Legends Giant Man, which was supposed to be an apology for the Engine of Vengeance, didn't please everyone. YouTubers are getting upset that they didn't get any credit for Giant Man's toe articulation. The G.I. Joe team put up pre-orders for a repainted Trouble Bubble that is $10 cheaper than the original. And Boog from the ACBA had a complete social media meltdown because I shared a screenshot of a comment that he made in the live chat of Hasbro's Giant Man live stream.
Ooh.
It's me,
Yeah.
it's you too.
We're going to talk about all this and more.
Hell yes.
Stay tuned.
Race war in the retro toy collector community.
Oh yeah, dude, we got a race war. So we got to join Tony. I mean, it's for the race now, so we're joining Tony on this one.
It's for
We're
the
ride or
race.
die. Yeah, it's for the race now, mate.
Hey toy fans, my name is Tony and welcome back to the Analog Toy.
Toy fans, we got to fucking cross the bomb. He just goes hard R on him. He doesn't give a shit.
Say he keeps calling him a wog.
Last week, one thing that I
He's
didn't
just
touch
wog
on
him
was
dealing with.
how bad the price of this offering made previous HasLabs look. The Dragonfly kind of did that a little bit by being a much larger vehicle than the Hiss tank, but costing $25 less. Yet this Giant Man HasLab is $150 cheaper than the Sentinel and half the price of Galactus, which originally sold for.
Wait, so it's just a giant figure
Sure,
because he's
you
big?
can argue
That's
that
kinda
Galactus is much taller and that he came with lights and sounds, but does this really equate to double the price tag of Giant Man? Take a look at all three of the Marvel Legends figures side by side and explain to me why Giant
It's $400.
Yeah, dude, because he's Galactus, dude, and he's 30 inches tall.
That's nuts.
Man is so vastly cheaper.
What's
in
nuts
price.
is the lore that
I'm
these
sure some
characters are
people
this
mention
big.
all the
Like, come
additional
on,
unlock
what?
tiers that came with the first two figures compared to the limited tiers offered with Giant Man. But that's a mute argument because when the consumer stumps up their hard-earned dollars for these items during the crowdfunding campaign, there's no guarantee that they will actually receive any of these unlocks. You have to
Dude,
make
do you
a
get
decision
different
based on what is
bushes for that
included with the
dick?
base
You get
offering.
a shaved
While I
pussy
think
and then
Giant
one
Man
with more
is a
hair.
little overpriced, it's certainly not
exchange out.
extortionate. But it does confirm to me that Hasbro was ripping off the consumer with the price for the Sentinel and Galactus.
The thing is, like Galactus, if we put it out today, it would be like over $500.
So you're telling us that today the figure on the left would cost $300 more than the figure on the right?
This is cheap.
That clip didn't age well. Whatever way you cut it, this new Giant Man should not be crowdfunded by $1 billion corporation.
I'm sick of them coming into my country.
Corporate crowdfunding, whether they prove their point or not, is clearly on the side of the corporation and not on the side of the consumer.
Boog.
When I made my Giant Man last week, I had a lot of
YouTuber's name is
to say.
Boog.
I thought the figure looked great. I said that I was confident that it would get funded and that it would unlock all of its tiers. And I offered some suggestions as to what I thought would have made for much better unlocks.
I mean, that is like bullshit. Like, why is Hasbro, which is
Crowdfunding
like,
a toy?
crowdfunding a toy? That's fucking like what?
Like, yeah, like,
That were very,
People that buy into that, if they get ripped off,
very well received by the audience.
good.
it's
They
well
should.
deserved. Oh, you're gonna give this
Keep claiming that
fucking
my videos are hate-fueled and
huge
toxic.
corporation.
They also say I never offer constructive criticism.
Tony, that
in my
edit's not
videos.
required.
Yet my
You don't need
suggestions
that,
of
bro.
He uses- he uses
the
it
Giant
again.
Man were exactly that.
I
Constructive
hate that.
suggestions.
I hate edits like
It's a
that.
huge leap to say that customer dissatisfaction
like this.
is equal to hatred.
It's
And if you're
the
one of the
fonts.
people making that
Jumping
comparison,
the shark.
then you've truly jumped the shark. How is it that we've got to a
Wow.
point in our community when criticism of a toy offering is viewed as toxic, hate-fueled behavior by people who say that
Don't nobody want to hear that shit, bro.
they say they only want positive vibes, but then they go around on social media politically profiling people and calling them racist and homophobic. Just because you don't say this stuff on your channel doesn't
That is gay. I love it. I wonder
make
if
you
he's
some
basing that
holier
on.
than thou ambassador of positivity, when your behaviour in other public forums like Facebook is the exact opposite. It just makes you a hypocrite. Sure, I've made jokes about Boog on the 3POA. If you were egotistical enough to think that you'd actually invented action figure photography to the point where you trademark a fucking acronym in a pathetic attempt to gatekeep a hobby, do you not think it would help to actually be good at taking photos? Fired the first shots at this man. He struck the first blow all the way back during the Engine of Vengeance campaign when he politically labelled me in a public forum and suggested that I was part of the MAGA crowd. And of course,
That's
this
so
is all
funny.
hilarious because I'm an Englishman who lives in Australia and doesn't even
That is
know
so
the
funny.
US, and he did this.
Boone just doesn't even care. He just doesn't care. He's just some idiot Boone that's just like, oh, he whacked.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like
I mean, Tony, you could tell Tony,
a
he probably
toy car.
is.
Yeah, you can tell Tony hates blacks, but that's besides the
Crazy
point.
behaviour and should
not
serve as
from
a healthy
America.
reminder to all of us to seriously consider who we choose as role
I'm not racist. Here's a Michael Jordan quote.
models in our community.
Shout out
watch
to
more
Magic
than him
Friendo
on
Wednesday.
That unexpectedly went up for pre-order yesterday. First off, let's discuss the Televiper figure because this one's a doozy. The
That's a
original
doozy of a
1980s
figure.
Televiper figure, he was like a Cobra Communications guy. He was designed with rolled up sleeves. And the G.I. Joe Classified design team were obviously trying to maintain this look when they developed the figure for
This
the
is
6-inch range.
pretty retarded.
But then someone on the team decided to give the figure alternate heads. And I'm all for this as it adds some welcome diversity to
Well, I
our
am too,
collections. But why in the hell
black?
didn't they go back and change his arms? I guarantee you this figure was originally intended to have Caucasian skin on the arms, but when they decided to offer extra heads with different skin tones, they knew the arms would no longer work. But instead of changing them, they just produced the uncovered parts of the arm in jet black plastic.
It's retarded.
The fact that they didn't go back and change these just smacks of laziness. And they didn't even need to create new tooling. They could have easily changed the arms with that of a Cobra officer or Cobra Viper, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Another thing
That's
that
right.
irks me about this product is the fact
True.
that the trouble bubble doesn't
Too
come with
true.
a flight stand. This is a small airborne vehicle that the vast majority of collectors are going to want
Sometimes,
to display
friend, yeah.
in flight mode. So offering this toy without a flight stand, in my opinion, is like offering an incomplete toy for $55. Now I'm sure a lot of you will say,
Dude,
you can't even display your figure.
flight stand. And I've got quite a few action figure flight stands in my collection, but nothing that looks like
it's
it will be able
Black
to hold the
Magic
trouble bubble
Wednesday.
in a flying pose. Now, I've never been a fan of the
Brendo the
Patrol
Magician.
or Tiger Force dating all the way back to my childhood. So this repainted version is not for me, but you're all free to put
Brendo
your
just
own toy
left.
poison. I could talk about this being a lazy
bud.
repaint, but
Buh.
that argument's been done to death. I want to talk about
Yeah,
the
no,
price of
seriously,
why
an
the
action
new
figure
Python
for
Patrol version
$55
is
without.
bizarrely $10
Dude, you can get a
cheaper than the
Gundam for
original Patrol.
$14
I'm sure
and
the
it comes with a
positive
fucking
Pollyannas out there are
stand.
wondering why anyone would complain about a toy being cheaper, while the rest of us are just annoyed that we got ripped off by $10 on the first offering. And there must be plenty of positive consumers out there because this thing sold out real fast. Yet most of the people who pre-ordered the original classic coloured Trouble Bubble still haven't received their product yet. And that's not a great way to treat your customers, Hasbro. For anyone who wants this, I'm happy for you. And if you don't care that Hasbro is obviously ripping you off with their own
Oh,
items,
nice.
then I'm happy for you too. Because you must not have to work as hard for your money as the rest of us do. So while I am really excited for some
Tony's so
upcoming G.I. Joe
bitchy.
offerings such as the Vamp,
So
and General
catty.
Hawk and Shockwave,
Dude, abracadabra
Python
is some
Patrol
old
Cobra
sort of
Fight Pod is an
fucking
easy
spell
pass.
thing. It's
Now you
not.
can try and invalidate my opinion all you want with your toxic
Some old
positivity,
fucking-
but I have just as much of a right to be a fan of the G.I. Joe brand as the next guy. And I
Shit.
say the things I say.
And
not
now it's
because I'm
just
trying
taken
to hurt
lightly and
anyone's
put in
ability to
everything,
collect
and it's like,
toys,
no, you don't
but
want to be
because I
saying
want the
that.
toy makers to hear us and to start doing a better job.
Is that what it means,
G.I. Joe
hetero
and
Marcus?
wanting the brand to be better does not make anyone a hater. And to all the numpties out there who say that I'm all
I was reading about it in a book. I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely putting
you
it.
need to go and
They're
have a
putting
look
that
at
in
the video I
mainstream,
made
so
about the
people will
G.I.
be
Joe
fucking
reveals
putting
this
that
year's
in
San
the
Diego
ether.
Comic-Con because it was overwhelmingly positive, as was the vast majority of my Giant Man video.
That makes sense.
I
I
really
create
like
as I
the
speak.
figure,
That
I
does.
just don't like the
That kind of
corporate crowdfunding
jives
model.
with what they.
But you
Yeah.
losers always ignore my positive comments. So label me all you
Losers.
want. It only makes you look bad. And for anyone who thinks I shouldn't be talking about Boog,
Look at those
I've
big
never
old
pretended to be
nostrils.
the bastion of positivity
That is
that
big
he claims
nostril
to be,
Boone.
while simultaneously leveling baseless accusations at me on social media.
It's ironic that your behavior is very Trumpian.
Trumpian?
What?
What the f? I also never
Dude,
gave
this
myself a
Boone's
nickname
crazy.
and put the word nice in it. So if you're going to talk
Unless he's
shit
just
about me,
trolling.
I'm going to reciprocate in
Could
kind.
just be trolling,
'Cause
I
ain't no
guess,
pussy
but,
either,
like-
Boog. And no, I'm not threatened by you, Boog. You're just a hypocrite. To everyone
I'll
else,
kill ya!
I'm talking to the rational, logical
he just
half of
threatens
the
to kill him.
community.
That is so
What do you
cool.
think about
Do
this?
it.
He threatens
Do
to
it,
kill
Tony.
him
HasLab Giant,
while his
Do it.
He-Man toys are blind.
Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.
I'll
So I'm
slit
gonna
your
ride up
throat,
on
you
my-
fucking wog.
You walk on my battle. Oh, come into my battle cat.
But that guy.
I'd love to see them go toe to toe at a convention, dude.
Well, here's his response.
Fucking wog.
This is just like he does a lot of wordicizing.
So
Word
listen,
of tick.
I don't
Wordification.
Wordification.
advocate for, endorse, or promote anyone who rocks with me crashing out on my behalf. I'm not going to send you off on a
Crashing
mission
out.
to attack any other YouTubers based on my rhetoric. I'm not going to gaslight you like I'm some victim. I'm standing on my own too. I'm 10 toes down. I'm fully capable of defending myself.
10-toe down.
Promise you, I'm Gucci. People that know me, they know full and well that there are lies being told about me and my character. It's getting personal, it's gotten highly disrespectful, and it's definitely not the energy that I want on my platform. These dudes are gonna lie to you with a straight face.
It's always so funny, like hearing a black guy talk like this, and he's like really into toys.
based on those lies.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's
gonna
the
be letting
toy.
stuff disrupt the
He's one of
energy in
these
my household.
boy.
Them tell it.
Dude,
I
I'm
live in a
definitely gonna
little
clip
tiny,
this and put
shitty
his
studio
name and
apartment.
Tony's
One
name
thing
in
I
it, and
won't
he'll
do
probably see it,
is
and we can
lob
probably
any
insert
personal
ourselves into this feud.
attacks. But one person
That'd
in
be fun,
particular has
maybe.
truly crossed the line.
He's
If
like,
you come to my
I
channel
told
from some
y'all
other channel
Tony
with
was
a
rocking
battery
with
in
them
your back, ready
racist
to
cards
crash
on
out,
deck.
'cause you were made to
He
believe
sent him
I'm this
after.
wild, unsavory,
He sent his team
racist,
after
I wanted
me,
to
yo.
just
His
do edits of like Tony with
your
like
best bet is to just
like
leave me
tattoos
alone.
on, like-
I'm not even worth your time.
Yeah.
swastikas and black
nothing
suns.
to pay me no
Like on his
mind.
back,
I'm
yeah.
here on
Yeah.
YouTube
He's got a
to
huge
have
black
fun
sun on his
playing
back.
with and talking about toys, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Emancipation
Episode
Articulation.
279.
Yeah, that should be the name of his
Wednesday,
podcast.
about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be lit. Hope to see you guys there.
We're gonna talk about freedom. We're gonna talk about toys, y'all.
Got to play 24 hours in a day.
I got to play with toys all day, 24/7
I'm on my
toys.
grizzly bear, 52 weeks out.